there is a test that you have to discipline yourself, disciple yourself. So part of discipline is discipleship, okay? And we read the other day on Sunday that like no discipline seems good at the time, but painful. But you know, if you were never raised with discipline, you're going to receive it in a hard way. You're not going to have understanding towards it. You won't allow it to train you. You won't allow it to adapt you. But God says that only people who are not legitimate are those who don't get disciplined. So I'm like, oh my goodness. But listen, but he said to do it in a way of love. There's a loving way to do it. I don't know, when I was a kid, I didn't really feel the love when I was getting a spanking, but somehow in there was a lot of logic in that God felt. So sometimes it hurts, ouch. But God knows there's a place of trust. So there's a place where you have a responsibility and I have a responsibility to discipline myself in the Lord. So the Lord God says he knows the plans he has for you. Plans. God has plans for me. You need to type that in the chat. God has plans for me. God has plans for me. God has plans for me to prosper me and not to harm me. But God, it feels like it's killing me. God's like, I know, feels like you're dying, but I have plans for you. So, in the midst of that, for I know the plans I have for you to prosper you and not to harm you. In the midst of this, my job is to seek his plans for me. Seek his plans for me. I don't know how much time we're spending to seek his plans for me, because when I seek his plans, it's going to work out okay. He is the one controlling the situation. He's the one my source and my strength is in. He's the one that's going to give me what I need. He's the one that my answers are in. If I have pain, he's the one that I run to. I talked about last night how Adam should have ran to God. Not to man, not to anybody else, not to blame. He said, Adam, where are you? Adam should have been like, I screwed up, I messed up, or I don't understand. Or like me, I was saying yesterday, like when God was breaking me, it was like I didn't understand that, like I was in trouble all the time, but I didn't understand that I was a part of the problem. I was in this whole matrix that I didn't understand that I was in because I've been programmed to be a certain way. I was programmed by false beliefs. I was programmed that if you love me, you don't correct me like that. I was programmed not to receive correction in a certain way, right? I was programmed to, I was prone to repeating the same cycles, and I was prone to doing the same thing and attracting the same thing because my default was leading me in a direction of destruction. So even though it would change people, or scenarios, I was still in this matrix that I was going in my own circles. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't remember. I think there was a part of the matrix where he kept running and ended up in the same place over and over. Yeah, right? It's same room. No matter what, it was the same room. No matter what, it was the same room. No matter what, it was the same room. And God's like, we need to break out of this room. You need to break out of this cycle. You keep running the same place, you run right into depression. You keep running the same place, you go back into procrastination. You keep running to the same place, you come back into offense. You keep running to the same place, you come back to running. I ran here, I ran there, I ran to another state, I ran to California, I ran to Oregon, I ran to Texas, I ran around, I've run it up and down, but I'm still here, so I keep running into the same room. I keep running into anger, I keep running into fat, to where I'm fat again. I keep running to where I've got bulimia, or I'm too skinny now, I'm throwing up again. I keep running into sex. I keep running into homosexuality. I keep running into the same room of delay. I keep running into this block like I'm not good enough and I'm not good enough leader and I can't. I keep running into sickness no matter what. I keep running into these unforgiveness no matter what. I keep running into every time it's time to be corrected in authority. I don't like you. I want to run my mouth. I don't want to tell you how to do it and I can't receive it because I'm running in this matrix and I'm in this thing and I'm going round and round and round and it keeps coming back to the same common denominator, me. And Jesus is like, I am the way. Can we put the numbers where I can see them, please, guys? I am the way. There it is, just right there. It's okay. I'm the way. The Lord's, I'm the way. You know, I wrote the song, Show Me the Way, Show Me the Way. The Lord's like, run to me. So he comes to Adam and he says, where are you? And Adam missed and deflected. How many of us are deflecting? Where are you? The truth is, where are you? Where are you? Do you really know where you're at? Think about that. Like, don't just go past that for a minute. Where are you? You have to be in a place where you know where you are, you know what you need to do, and you know where God is taking you. Because remember, God said, for I know the plans that I have for you, to prosper you and not to harm you. So he knows the plans he has for you. But you are so concerned about your own plans and what makes you feel good, and you're going to find yourself running back to that same spot again. You're going to have different people, different characters, and you're going to be right back there. But when you make a mistake, he provided a throne of grace. You make a mistake, he provided a place where you can be healed. He provided a way where you can be loved. He provided a place where you can get out of this matrix of constant, here I am again, I don't understand it, I don't understand it, I don't understand it. And God is saying, I provided a place for you. So in this place, the Lord is like, why are you running from me? When he asked him, where are you? He could have said, Lord, I ate from the tree you told me not to. I did not submit to your word. I did not submit to your will. And I messed up. I listened to my wife. I didn't take authority. And I please help me. That's where he was. He says, where are you? And Adam says, it's the woman you gave me. He didn't even answer the question. He was hidden and he had and he's naked and he's putting on his own covering. He's trying to cover himself when only God can be our covering. When only God can be our source. When only God, you can be working so much you can't even hear God. You can be doing busy, but busyness isn't effectiveness. You can be in the house and you're not in the house. You have to be really present and not want a present from God like a box and a gift, but I want his presence. I want him and I want all of him and I want to know him. I'm a vessel. I'm a chosen vessel, God. I can fail you. So I give you a solid word, the word of God, so he will always be the one that you run to. You're not seeking a person's approval. In the process, do we honor, respect, and love? Absolutely, it's a part of the process. But we honor God, we respect God, and in honoring God, I honor others. So you can tell by how I treat others by where I am with the Lord. Here's Adam, and he's saying, it's the woman you gave me. He goes to the woman, where are you? He's asking everybody the same question, where are you? She's like, it's the serpent, he. Instead of just saying, I messed up, I screwed up, I fornicated, I lied, I cheated, I'm insecure, I got a problem. You mess with married women, you mess with married men, you don't know how to unify, you're gossiping and you're dividing, you feel insecure, whatever it is. God, I don't believe in myself, God. I don't think that it applies to me, Lord. I can't. My mind just doesn't seem to be absorbing, God. I don't know how to seek your face. I don't know. I messed up. If you said I messed up, you wouldn't be trying to cover up. Because mess up and cover up, in Adam's case, we're going together. I'm trying to not tell my whole part of what I did. You ever met somebody that only tells you their part, only one part? They don't tell the part that they really did, but they want to tell what you did to them. But when you ask them what happened, they only give you one side of the story. It's always a good person that tells you, look, this is what I did, and this is what they did. This is what I did. But when you ask for the story, they're just like, I don't know why they're treating me like this, and I don't know what they did, and I don't know. You know what you did last summer. You know, there's no real honesty and cut heart with God because I'm not coming to him, telling him where I'm really at. I cheated. I screwed up. I messed up. I have a problem submitting to authority. I have a problem listening. I have a problem obeying. I have a problem being tardy all the time. I want to do what I want to do. And now I'm upset because I'm being disciplined or being reprimanded or they gave my job to somebody else or they fired me. Well, why did they fire you? These people, they just trying to hold me back from my potential. And so I just want to go do something else. And God's like, you're not telling the whole story. You don't want to really reflect like, I suffer with mental anguish because I don't want to submit to God. I messed up. So we're trying to cover ourselves. And the Lord's looking at you like, what are you doing with those leaves on? Why do you have those leaves on? That's not what I designed. I know the plans I have for you. This animal over here, hold on, let me get you a skirt. Let me put you a tunic on here. If you wanted clothes, just ask. You're trying to make something yourself that wasn't designed for you. So you made leaves. And the crazy thing about leaves is they covered themselves with leaves. Where do we see leaves at? Where are leaves at? On a tree. And so Jesus sees a fig tree, and he goes to go pick a fig one day, and he goes and grabs the fruit, and there's no fruit there. There's just leaves. But the fig tree only comes out at the same time that leaves come out. When leaves come out, the figs are supposed to be out at the same time. They grow together. But there was no fruit. There was just leaves. So he goes and he curses it. They come back the next day, the whole tree is withered up. They're like, look what he did to this tree. You know what? There's another tree. And Jesus sees the tree, and he gets ready, and there's this whole story. He's going to curse the tree. And the man's going to curse the tree. And he says, don't curse it. Give me a year. This is where we're at. Like, give me a year. Watch this. Let me dig around it. And let me dung it. You know what that means? I'm going to put some manure in there. And I'm going to fertilize it. And I'm going to feed it. And I'm going to nutrient. I'm going to water it. And if in a year it doesn't produce fruit after I have dunged it, after I have nurtured it, after I've fertilized it, after I've grown it, after I've given it the word, after I've studied the word, after I've really postured my heart, after I've really sat in the presence of God, and if it doesn't produce fruit then cut it off, but don't cut it off. He said, deal. I'll give you a year. You know what's so significant is? The leaves represent you just working in the church and just serving in the church. but there's no fruit from you. Your heart isn't beating for the Lord. Your compassion is lost. Your compassion. You're preaching and you're preaching and preaching and preaching, but you're not feeling the heartbeat of God, and you're not seeking the plans of God, and you're not seeking the will of the Lord. And you're in here, but you don't even know when you leave what the service was about. You don't even know what was preached. You haven't took notes in a long time. You haven't gone home, and it wasn't effective with you. There was no fruit. It didn't bear any fruit. It didn't produce anything. So you're there, but you're not mentally there. You're in the room, but you're doing something else. You don't know. You wrote a note, but you don't even know what it says. So we're distracted in the Lord, and we're here, but we're not here. We're in it, but we're not in it. We're a part of it, but we're not a part of it. I'm a leader, but I'm not leading. I'm married, but I'm not in the marriage. I'm in the relationship, but I'm having sex, but I'm not making love. I'm at the job, but I'm not effective. I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm listening what you're saying, but I'm not listening, so it's not producing any fruit. I heard the correction you gave me, but I didn't allow it to enter my heart. It entered my head, and I took offense instead of I received the correction so it could produce fruit. So there's no fruit that was produced because my root didn't receive it. So I have a whole bunch of leaves and I have no fruit. I'm not grown spiritually. I haven't grown in power. I haven't grown mentally. I haven't grown relationally. I haven't grown financially. I haven't grown in faith. I haven't grown in love. I haven't grown in sincerity. I haven't even heard any of the words that have been preached because I've got so much leaves. I have no fruit. I didn't seek love, and love is not a person. Love is God. God is love. I didn't seek his presence. So I have to have fertile soil to receive the seed. Okay? So to get out of your own strange cycle of matrix, I have to have clean hands and a pure heart.